For many years, we've travelled the world making wildlife programmes for the BBC.
What an amazing animal.
My name's Chris Packham.
I'm Liz Bonnen.
And that's the lion's tail macaque.
I'm Steve Backshall.
Oh, not the ear.
And I'm Gordon Buchanan.
Oh, look at that.
We may have spent a lot more time on home turf lately. But it's given us the chance to reflect on just how amazing some of those wild adventures were. And we want to share some of those memories with you.
Go.
The close encounters, grueling expeditions,
Oh, I don't believe it.
the amazing discoveries,
Thank you.
and career-defining moments.
I just asked the wild beer for a kiss.
We'll also hear from those behind the cameras, just what it takes to capture the natural world in all its wonder. Join us as we look back on our adventures across Britain and Ireland. When it comes to wildlife, our island nations have it all.
They say it's a big, wide world, and it certainly is, and I've had the enormous privilege to have travelled to many parts of it over the last 35 years in pursuit of wildlife. But I've got to tell you that despite all of that, my favourite part of the world is this part. This little part of the New Forest in Hampshire. For me, home is where the heart is. Here in the UK, we have an enormous diversity of habitats and with them, a fabulous range of flora and fauna. All of that coastline, rocky, sandy, shingle, all of those woodlands, from the wet ones to the magnificent oak woodlands that we've got here.
And if you cast your eyes to the skies, they too are full of mesmerising sights. Each season brings its own spectacles, but every once in a while you get the rare chance to spot a species that's been brought back from the brink. Recently, I took a short trip across the Solent to the Isle of Wight to see a bird of prey that I certainly would never have been able to see there just a few years ago. They'd been long extinct in this part of the UK, but now they're being gradually reintroduced by a group of conservationists. Steve Egerton-Reid is one of them.
It's not raining. It's not windy. It's not even cold. I'm on the Isle of Wight to enjoy an enormous treat.
With the conditions ideal, I didn't have to wait long.
There's one just there, Chris. There you are.
Oh my goodness me, look at that, yeah. Superb. Yes, white-tailed eagles. Oh, look at that. The sun shining. Oh, look at the beak. It's good to have a crow there for a bit of scale, actually, isn't it?
It is.
Diminutive is how one would describe that crow. That is sensational. Hold on, there's another bird here. It's an eagle fiesta.
Everyone that sees them is just really awestruck by them, and
Yeah.
they're just such iconic birds.
And also the hope that we will see these over our gardens in the south of England, over our city centres, Portsmouth, Southampton, Bournemouth, Poole.
This will hopefully be a widespread bird again.
It's just about 8 o'clock in the morning and we're looking at 3 white-tailed eagles on the Isle of Wight. These 3 are obviously from the class of 2020.
That's right, yeah. So it's a 5-year release programme where we hope to release up to 60 birds. So 2019 was the first of those 5 years, and where we released 6 birds. 4 of them are still alive and flying around England, so 2 are here on the Isle of Wight.
What we got, Steve?
So this is one of last year's birds. This is really exciting. She's come to see what the younger birds are up to.
The 2 groups of eagles which have been released since 2019 have been fitted with satellite tracking devices to monitor their movements.
It's great to see her socialising with these younger birds. She's a really big bird. She was the biggest from last year's group.
When the young birds arrived on the island, the team installed CCTV cameras, giving them a closer look at what has to be the best bird table in Britain. Just a few weeks before my visit, the team captured 5, yes 5, of this year's young eagles feeding together. Steve goes to great lengths to ensure that the eagles don't learn to associate humans with food, and these cameras ensure they're not disturbed. After an unexpectedly exciting morning with Steve and these spectacular birds, I went to find out how the eagles have settled into life in the south of England, from the leader of the project, Tim McCrill.
I mean, let's go back to basics. Why the Isle of Wight?
One of the things you have to consider that this is a reintroduction project. So what we're doing is we're restoring a bird that should be common and widespread across the whole of England, but particularly in this case, southern England. And we feel that all the ecological requirements for the white-tailed eagle are here. And we know that the last breeding record was on the Isle of Wight in 1780. So we just think it's the perfect place for the project.
We've already seen the class of 2020 this morning and they're prospering. And of course they've been roaming widely.
Yeah, all 4 birds have done some fabulous kind of exploratory flights around the country. One of them flew all the way up to the Firth of Forth in Scotland, spent 2 months up there, and then it slowly made its way back to the release site. So what was really pleasing about that is that that bird is learning the landscape, it's learning where it is in the world, but it knows that the Isle of Wight is home.
And that will be critical because as you release more and more birds, you want them to start breeding here, within the next 4 or 5 years, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, you have to have patience with these projects. You know, it doesn't happen overnight. And we hope that from the initial birds we release, a population of perhaps 6 to 8 pairs will get established. We killed them out, so we're now restoring them to their rightful place. You know, the Isle of Wight eagles hopefully are here to stay.
Across the UK, and for me in Scotland, there are so many places that I've had memorable moments. I do consider myself to be extraordinarily lucky. This is a place that I spend a lot of time. This is my little kind of fix of the wild. This is Loch Lomond. I've had as sort of interesting days out on this loch than I have had in the distant mountains of the Himalayas. And it puts me in mind of a filming trip that I did. I went to Shetland. The numbers of killer whales that had been sighted off of Shetland had gone up, increased in those years. And I wanted to see if we could make a little film about Shetland killer whales, and that's all it was. It was me searching for killer whales. We didn't find any. But I did meet a mackerel fisherman that had showed me some amazing photographs of killer whales off the back of his mackerel fishing boat. And he told me that, oh, sometimes you can get hundreds of them I said, surely you don't mean hundreds of killer whales? And he said, oh, yeah, hundreds. So I wanted to go back up and see if this story was true. I was able to go to Shetland and check out this quite extraordinary story. I'm so excited about this trip. I haven't looked forward to a filming trip so much in a very long time. And I've got every reason to be excited because I'm on a trawler heading out into the North Sea to look for one of the planet's most impressive animals. What's there not to be excited about?
It seems to be everywhere you look. There's some hazard, some clunking bit of metal or tight cable or rope that looks as if it's going to snap, taking your head off. Things have happened a little bit sooner than I'd expected. We're using the sonar equipment to locate the shoals of fish, and half a day in, we've found a big shoal of mackerel. So they've deployed the nets, and we just have to sit out on deck and hope we get a good catch and hope that the whales show up. Okay, there's some very big, heavy pieces of metal. Gosh. Man, I'll look at that.
There was a lot of uncertainty and a lot of waiting around. And when you're on a big boat at sea, there's not much to do. Even with the assurances of the skipper saying, yeah, no, it's happened, kind of happened the last sort of 3 years in a row, I still sort of didn't quite believe it.
The fish are here, the gannets are here, and we're just waiting for the main attraction.
Got whales, we've got whales. Just over to the left here, coming straight in.
I'm finally going to get the chance to film killer whales in UK waters.
I can't believe that they're coming. Oh, gee, look at that. Really close.
There are so many whales here, it's very difficult to try and estimate how many there are. Possibly 50, possibly 60. There may even be up to 100 on the other side of the boat that we're just not seeing. And this is what they're here for.
Just cannot believe that we have killer whales just 10, 15 meters away from us. Without a doubt, one of the most incredible things I have ever seen.
It's 1:20 in the morning, and the shout has just gone up that the nets are going back in the water.
We've got whales coming in here. I think the best bet is if we go as high as we can, we'll get a much better view. I think I can see one beneath the surface. There's one there. Look, another one just right here. Come on. Okay. I can just about see him. I'm going to follow him, try and keep on him and see if he surfaces. Just makes you think how many creatures there are down there. We're seeing the mackerel being brought on board. We're seeing the killer whales coming in. Gannets, fulmars, gulls, but there are literally thousands of other species down there that we just will never see. What I would give for a very, very powerful torch.
These killer whales are so at home here. Darkness doesn't bother them at all.
Oh, I just got a face full of killer whale breath. Certainly they're much less shy than they were during the day, but they're not coming in very close. There's a couple of big ones that have come in here, and you can see them underwater, like this one here. You can just make out the white on its side. Oh, there he comes, lovely. What a sight. Oh gosh, they're still coming. My God. I can't think of any better reason to stay up until 3 o'clock in the morning than this.
I think that wildlife filmmakers and photographers are quite a greedy bunch, because you go out with the hope of finding a particular animal. And that's all that's on your mind. And when you actually do find that animal, that's when you get greedy. You think, well, okay, it's not in the right position, or the light's just not perfect. In the case of the killer whales, you know, had you told me that 125 killer whales were going to show up, I thought, that's enough for me. But once they did, that's when I started getting greedy. Because it'd be incredible to be underwater. The problem was we didn't have an underwater camera with us. So we sort of scavenged around, and we managed to find a local resident in Shetland that had this dinky little underwater camera that he very kindly lent us.
The whales have been following us all morning as we've had the nets in the water. We've started to pull them in. The whales are still here, so this is our very last chance. Right, they're coming in, cruising in like a flotilla. Oh, right, please guys, just come all the way in.
Every time it's a large male that approaches the boat first, checking us out before giving the signal for the others to come in. With the whales in so close, it means I can now try to film them underwater. The weather is turning bad, a storm's brewing, but I'm still going to give it a go. I so want to enter their world, even if only for a moment or two.
I'm just hoping that we can get at least one underwater shot, one clear one. It's been really difficult. The topside stuff just pales into insignificance. That was quite straightforward. This is really tough. Everything's against us. A lot of swell today. The waves are coming right up to the entrance of the door here. Okay, they're coming in. Camera's running up. Camera's running. In we go. Ah, hold on tight. Whoa, look at this wave. Come on. Ah, big bit of mackerel slime straight in the face. Rising right up out of the water. Okay, don't like being this close to the net. Okay, snag. Camera got ripped off by the net. You just see the power that the sea has against this really thick metal pole. Ah, I think that might be it over. Damn.
Amazingly, the camera seems to have survived, but I need to think on my feet if I'm going to get any underwater footage at all. Luckily, someone remembered to pack a spare pole, even if it is a bit short.
Much more manageable, but it's just not that long. Okay, whale there, just at the bag. Okay, he's coming. He's going down. just hanging in the water. He's at the surface. It's just on the range of what I can see, which is about 10 metres. He needs to be closer than that. Hello, boy. Okay, come on. Next. Oh! We've got him right here, right in front of me. I could reach out and touch him. Oh, holy mackerel!
Finally, I'm encountering this beautiful creature in his true home.
Look at that. Thank you ever so much. Oh, you beauty. Woo! I'd like to think that he was checking me out there. He certainly came close enough. Ah. It's not over yet, he's still here. Oh, thank you. Oh. The whales have saved their best to last. To see them under the water is just fantastic. The little bit of their lives that we see above the ocean is just the tip of a very large iceberg. And I can now go back home, onto dry land, incredibly happy.
I enjoy filming wildlife anywhere, whether it's here in the UK or bang in the heart of the Congo Basin. The one thing I love about the UK, though, is the season. You have spring, summer, autumn, and winter. And all these seasons come with something beautiful. And that's one thing we don't have in Africa. It's either the rainy season or the dry season. And that's it. I'm a wildlife cameraman, born in Brazzaville, in the Republic of Congo, in the central west of Africa. That actually feels a world away from where I live now, in Bristol, in the west of England. One of the things that always captured my attention everywhere I walk, whether I'm in the woods or I'm in the urban area, is the bird. I live extremely close to Evan Gorge. It's a great feed station for lots of birds, such as kestrels, the peregrine falcon. But there's one particular bird that really, really amazes me. It's the cuckoo. The journey that they make, traveling all the way from the Congo in Central Africa to the UK. The same journey I've done.
Growing up in the Congo, I heard the sound of the cuckoo, but never got to see one.
I can remember I used to be confused between the pigeons and the cuckoos. They look so similar. I always wanted to film a cuckoo, but I didn't project that I would film it in the UK. And that just got me excited. But the thing about the cuckoo is the sound is so distinctive and beautiful, echoey. 20 years on and 4,000 miles from where I first heard that sound. I'm hoping to see a cuckoo for the first time today.
Cuckoos are most active at dawn, so I'm up early. And the signs are good.
That is a clear sound of a male cuckoo. And this is about a perfect time of the day where they start calling for a mate.
It sounds like I'm surrounded by cuckoos, but seeing them and filming them is another matter.
I'm gonna set myself up here.
I've used the call of the female cuckoo to help lure the males in. And almost as soon as I turn it on, I see my first ever glimpse of a cuckoo.
That thing is very, very efficient. And as soon as I put it, there was a male there, right there.
During the rest of the day, I get further tantalizing sightings, but never quite the shot I want.
All I wanted it was just one shot. But now I'm getting more excited. I want more. That's what every cameraman do.
But with the light fading, it turns out I have to wait a little longer. It's dawn and conditions are perfect. It's not long before I get the shot I wanted.
I'm really chuffed to bits that I did that. So rewarding. Yeah, I do love a cuckoo.
Now, it's a statement of the obvious, but if you live in the UK, then the UK is more accessible to you, as is its wildlife. And there's nothing more accessible than the wildlife that you share your community with. And that means that you can get to know it really well. You can see and sense changes which take place every few days. I like to exercise all of my senses to engage with the natural world. It's only then that I can fully understand it. So my nose is really important. And at the moment, yes, there's that wet spring smell, but a while ago, I caught a sniff of something that I know very well, that carries quite a whiff to it just along the path here. This is my local badger set here, and I come very often to have a look around and have a sniff around. Just look at this. At this time of year, the badgers are very active with their latrines. They dig these pits here, fill them full of their feces, and they act as territorial markers. In terms of the smell, it's a bit bitter, not musky. It really depends on what the badger's been eating, to be honest with you. And for me, not an unpleasant smell at all. It's a smell that allows me to know these animals a little more. But by coming here much more frequently, I get to know a lot more about them. Look at this, for instance. The badgers have been really active over the last couple of nights. And I know that because I was here 2 days ago, and they've been excavating all of this soil from the set. So this allows me to understand, for instance, that they are busier when it comes to clearing out their set at this time of year. You may have just spotted something interesting here. This is a badger vertebrae. It's that one that sits immediately behind the skull. And this has come from a long-dead badger, which died underground, and they've been clearing it out, and somewhere in amongst here is probably the skull. And I'll keep that as a little souvenir. But getting back to the smell, I have, in the past, without a word of a lie, on really damp, warm days, been able to stick my head down the hole entrance here and smell the badgers beneath the ground. Now, what about that? You see, smell's always been really important to me. I think it's allowed me to interact more intimately with all of those creatures that I love so much.
Now, there is one smell that I absolutely love of a wonderful, if rather potent, reptile. But I am pretty sure that I'm in the minority when I say that. The grass snake is one of my favourite animals, but it's very elusive and hardly anything is known about its distribution and population in the UK. So when I heard there was a site in Norfolk where Angela Winnett was studying them, I simply couldn't resist a visit.
How many of these have you got out, Angela?
Approximately 60.
60?
Yep.
Wow. No snakes, just a few ants under that one. Oh, look at that. There is a bonus number of snakes. Oh, and there's that male there as well. 4 grass snakes in one go.
That's a great catch. More than I've seen.
Pretty good, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
And this one's venting already there. Look, I mean, it's not something you want to see in close-up, maybe, but... Oh, the smell. Now, I like it, Angela. What's your take on the smell?
I'm getting used to it.
You're getting used to it? This smell that they're producing to try and stop me from predating them is, for me, the smell of success. When I was an 8-year-old out catching snakes like this, if I smelled of that when I got home, then I'd been successful. But I suppose not many people are going to like that. Oh, it's quite heady when there's 4 of them. It's worth saying, Angela, that very often, once you start handling them, they do calm down.
Mm-hmm, they do. Yeah, they kind of relax.
Anyway, into the science, rather than just the perverse love of the smell and admiration for the snake. What are you up to here?
My work is focused on counting them, trying to find how many are actually here on the site, as well as monitoring their seasonality and trying to see at what points throughout the year that their populations peak. But already we've seen more than the peak of last year. We've seen 35 has been the most.
That's a lot of snakes on one site.
Grass snakes are in decline, so to find a site with over 35 snakes in 1 square kilometre is really fantastic news. Angela is using a unique attribute of the snakes to help her count correctly.
Well, you're doing something which I really wish I'd thought of doing when I was a kid, and that is that you're looking at their ventral scale patterns here, aren't you? Because these are individual to each snake.
Yes, they're a great sort of fingerprint to be able to tell individuals apart.
The ability to uniquely identify individuals means that Angela's survey will avoid double counting the same snakes and give really accurate results.
Okay, whenever you're able to move your fingers away.
Yeah, you ready?
Yep.
So once you've got these photographs, it means you can identify these individuals. You can see whether they're moving around this site, whether they're coming back year after year.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I hate to say it, but it's smartly simple, isn't it? So it's something that could be done anywhere else in the country.
Yeah, we don't know how to conserve a species if we don't know what its status is. It's really important for conservation to see what these snakes are doing and get out and find them.
Yeah. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Let's put her back underneath her shelter over there. And you go. It's great, wasn't it? 4 in one go. If that had happened when I was about 8, I'd be bragging about that for weeks. 4 grass snakes in one go. Brilliant. This will strike you as slightly bonkers, but if I were to sit down, I could undoubtedly remember every single grass snake that I've ever encountered, such as the potency of their ability to excite me. So I remember that day with enormous fondness.
Our wildlife here in the UK is hugely underrated. We have wildlife wonders here in this country to rival anywhere else on the planet. To see gannets dive bombing from 20, 30 meters above the surface of the sea, crashing down to snatch bait fish just below the surface. To go out searching on a heathland for grass snakes. To listen to or even call in tawny owls. These things have been some of the most magical moments of my life. Hares boxing in the spring. Great crested grebes courting. All of these things are stunning, but they're even more important because they're ours. The second I hear a blackbird in full voice, I'm transported back to my childhood bedroom and the blackbird singing outside. And everything about the wildlife that we have here is imbued with nostalgia and history. And because of that, I value it more than anywhere else on Earth. Every day is constant miracles, constant surprises that the natural world offers. And I would say one of our greatest natural miracles is on a British beach.
Evolution has created some real wild wonders, and one true aquatic oddity is found around the coast of the British Isles and has been making a massive recovery here in Studland Bay. It has the tail of a monkey, the midsection of a kangaroo, and the head of a horse. It is, of course, the seahorse. They were once abundant, but these days our two native species of seahorse have become rare sights in our waters. Here in Dorset, though, they're making a comeback. Seahorse numbers had been struggling because seagrass, which is their natural habitat, was being damaged by anchors and chains. To protect the habitat, Studland was recently made a marine conservation zone. Lockdown also helped because the lack of boats gave the seagrass a chance to repair. This meant that the seahorses came back. Seahorse expert Neil Garrick-Maidment has a license to monitor seahorses. I was allowed to join him, but as a protected species, I had to keep my distance.
This is a glorious meadow of seagrass. It's not seaweed, it's a true flowering plant, just like the grass you get on your lawn at home.
Soon enough, the lawn comes alive.
Spider crab. There's loads of them hiding in the seagrass, in amongst the fronds. A snake lox anemone, and they're everywhere. They're beautiful. These seagrass meadows are so full of life.
A few minutes later, Neil spots the prize.
Oh, we've got one! Right in front of us! Whoa! Look at that! What a little beauty! Because of our permits, I now have to keep my distance at least 2 meters away. That's right, I'm socially distancing underwater from a fish. Seahorses are a fish, but not shaped like any other. They have an undulating dorsal fin at the back which can drive them along. The only time they do move fast, really, is when they're snapping their shrimp prey. They create a vacuum in their mouth and the shrimp gets snapped up in a millisecond. You can certainly see why it's called the spiny seahorse, with that crazy punk hairdo. It is the absolute perfect camouflage. It's not surprising, really, that this miracle of evolution is so highly treasured by so many people.
Just when I thought this dive couldn't get any better.
Is that a pregnant male? Yes, it is. How about that? Wow, that's absolutely incredible. That big bulbous belly is a sign that this is a male seahorse and he is laden with eggs.
Seahorses are one of the few creatures where the male gets pregnant.
The female transfers eggs into his pouch. He then fertilizes and broods them.
One of the most exquisite little natural marvels you'll ever see underwater in British seas. It's an absolute treasure. What an experience. I'm not going to forget this in a hurry.
Neil's been able to gather so much data on the seahorses here, he now knows their individual stories. And one male has been particularly busy.
He was being pregnant on each of the dives that we've done so far, and looking at him today, I would imagine he's just about to give birth. He'll be pregnant again within 24, 48 hours, and off he goes until 28 days' time when he gives birth again.
He is a little strumpet.
He definitely is.
In conservation, stories like this are so important. An entire environment that has bounced back. And it's a simple equation. Protect the seagrass and the seahorses will come back.
I love the fact that that wildlife wonder is somewhere that appears to be so ordinary and that people can just wander past completely oblivious of its presence. One of the true, unique miracles of nature, just lying there, pretty much invisible in amongst the seagrass. And to dive in amongst them and see this weird animal where they will suck down little mysid shrimp from the water like a tiny hoover. Just impossibly intricate and delicate and beautiful. I think that that's something really, really special.
I guess what's great about the west coast of Ireland is it still is very quiet and unspoiled. You can be out in the ocean in these wonderful conditions. I'm always drawn back to the west coast of Ireland. Springtime is a wonderful time of year, and it's around about now when the skylarks start singing. It's worth your while spending some time gazing out to sea. When conditions settle like this and when the sea calms down, that's when the plankton begins to gather and bloom and concentrate. I guess a lot of us think about spring is just happening on land, but it happens in the ocean too. And that is when the basking sharks arrive. And when you see that fin break the surface for the first time, it's a sight that you never tire of, that's for sure. They're the biggest fish in the Atlantic Ocean, the second biggest fish in the world. Now, you can see them from the coast, but there's nothing like getting out there with them. You can't go out in every sort of weather, but when conditions are right, and when the skies are blue and the sea is calm, there's no better way than exploring this sort of environment. The Curragh is a traditional boat that was, I guess, evolved in these waters. And the people who built them really knew what they were doing. They're quite a light craft, an ancient craft, but they're very connected almost organically with the ocean. Sometimes you're pulling on the oars and you travel quickly. At other times, you realize there's resistance because maybe you're fighting the tide or the wind or the wave or something like that. But you feel absolutely connected. You have a real sense that the ocean is beneath you and you're very much a part of it. Days like these really stick out like rare jewels. It's easy to forget how unstable the Atlantic is so much of the time. Most of our interactions with the sea are very much on the surface, so we rarely notice what's going on underneath. Bottom of the boat, and so long as you don't make any dramatic movements, they will ignore you completely, and it's quite some.
right, Sid. I know. It's exciting, isn't it? It's exciting. Come on. I love this sound. The sound of rustling leaves underfoot. Look at that. Close your eyes and scuff your feet. Not in a desert, are you? Not on a shingly beach. You're in a lovely old piece of woodland. Sound is really important, certainly as a naturalist. I mean, let's just have a listen to the natural sounds, not the rustling leaves now. Blue tits, great tits. Oh, great spotted woodpecker drumming somewhere over there. It's part and parcel of this place. We are a very visually orientated species, but we mustn't forget to use our ears, our nose, and our fingertips to fully engage with wildlife. And for me, if I really want to know this place, I really want to know the species that live here, I've got to listen to them. The thing is, sound also has the capacity to act as a time machine, particularly bird calls and songs that you don't hear very often, because every time you hear one, it transports you back to that time when you last heard it. That's a very powerful thing about sound. Think of your favourite song. You only need to hear a few bars, and you're a teenager again with your favourite T-shirt, drinking your first pint of beer, which was very cheap at the time, wasn't it? If you want to know wildlife, sound is really important. Come on, Nance.
And the sounds of nature quite often have the power to make me feel like a giddy teenager again. West Sedgemoor, an ancient landscape and one of my favourite places to visit. It's also home to a fast declining bird. A bird that at this time of year, for a couple of hours just after dawn, makes an extraordinary sound.
The thing about this sound is that for hundreds, if not thousands of years, it was a mystery. People would have walked out across this marshland here and heard these birds, but they just couldn't figure out how the sound was made.
But before we try to unravel the mystery, we need to hear it. And who better to help us than soundman Gary Moore and his parabolic microphone?
Morning, Gary.
Morning, Chris.
Some great sound. The cranes. What else have you picked up?
Reed bunting.
Skylarks dominating at the moment.
See it, there, look.
Oh my goodness. With these headphones on, it sounds like that skylark is in the middle of my brain somewhere. And there's nothing else in there. I've just got like a hollow head with this incredible song of the skylark. But truth be told, none of these birds are what we've come here to hear. I can hear it. That chip, 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 chip is the precursor to the sound that we've come to hear. And that's being made, by a male snipe. That little wading bird, incredibly difficult to see at this time of year when they're down on the ground.
So that's the bird we're after, but not the sound. No, to hear that, we're going to need to find one on the wing, performing its mating display.
Oh, Nano's drumming.
Oh! Where was it? Out there. I've got them, Gary. Look where I'm looking. They're right above us. Here they are. Here they come. Oh, yes. Did you get it? You got it. That was the drumming of the snipe. What a thing. I was actually watching them. You could see them going up and then they zip down like that. As they pulled out of the dive, you just had that fantastic little whirring sound. Drrr, drrr.
This remarkable sound earned the snipe ancient nicknames such as horsecock and little goat of the frost. But how do they make it? Well, allow me to demonstrate.
Here are two outer tail feathers of the snipe. And what they do is they hold those out from their tail like this at 180 degrees. And as those birds are gliding down in that rapid flight, these tail feathers vibrate and they've got a very stiff vein, the rachis there. And all of the other parts of the feather behind it are again especially evolved to produce that sound. But why would you believe me? Well, you've no reason to believe me whatsoever, except that I can replicate an experiment that was done in 1912 by a man called Philip Manson Barr in Pagani's restaurant in London in front of the audience of the British Ornithologist Club. He put two snipe tail feathers in a cork like this on a length of string, and then he swung it around to replicate the sound of a snipe. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, yes! Oh, yes, yes, yes. I've made my very own snipe. And across the UK on this fine sunny morning, there is not a happier bloke. Gary.
Fantastic.
Points out of 10, come on.
10 out of 10.
Oh, look at that. Philip Manson Barr, I salute you. I salute you. Oh, Gary, what I'm wanting. Breakfast is deserved. What a day. Oh, such a lovely location, brilliant bird. Love working with Gary. Top bloke. And the gadget worked. Oh, yes. You don't need expensive technology or to go to a far-flung location. You just need a cork, a piece of string, and one of the best birding spots in Britain.
Next time, we'll be looking back on our wild adventures in India.
There's something really emotive about watching them fly overhead. This fluid, coordinated movement. Oh, it's just beautiful.
Bhutan.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
And Bangladesh.
It's about the worst view of an animal that I've ever had. And yet it's one of the best.
Well, it's the RHS Hampton Court Flower Show, and you can join us there. A new series Wednesday at 9 here on BBC Two. At Discover the Amazing Things We've Learnt, BBC Sounds presents the 30 animals that have made us smarter. Listen now. But next, a telescope that looks straight through the Earth. It's QI XL.